I think Kithure Kindiki, start packing your bags. This thing is done, is gone, is dusted. They don't want you. Wameshindwa kukufukuza na kufukuza ya kwambi toka. I saw you shouting and insisting that you will not leave, at umeweka plaster, umepanga viti, and so on and so forth. But let me tell you, Kithure Kindiki, William Ruto is done with you. Not only is he done with you, he's done with the mountain. He's given up hope. Remember this weekend he was supposed to come to Meru. Akaangalia akaona huko Meru hata ni hesabu za minus. The more he comes, the more he spends, the more he mobilizes for nothing. So he's quit coming to the mountain. He's given up. He's now he realized there's nothing there left for him. And then now he's sending CS Roko to say that regardless of who is appointed as deputy president, that the people of that region, that is Roko and one of his two friends, will vote for William Ruto. But for as far as we are concerned, it is done, dusted. I think if I was Professor Kindiki, I would start looking for a way to pack my bags to, because ile madharau ataanza kuonyesha. Remember, they have taken out some responsibilities that he had, and those responsibilities have been given to his earthquakeness, Musalia Mudavadi. He's been given those responsibilities and he's the one who is in charge of them. What they are trying to tell Kithure Kindiki, now you are just here existing, doing nothing, and they'll continue taking away responsibilities from him because responsibilities come with a budget. That's the whole idea. Yeah. So the more responsibilities are taken away from him, the more budget is taken away from him, and the more he realizes that he's unwanted. He's in a very difficult place. God. And you remember when Rigathi Gachagua spoke, people said he's just bitter and angry. Na watu wakakwambia, Rigiji akikwambia bibi yako ako na mimba, akianza tu kushona tu vitenge, anza kutafuta viatu za watoto, anza kununua pampers. Later he will tell you who the father is.
Msiagi sana. Jua tu iko.
Everything is calculated. But this was long coming. Hey, this was long. You see, at some point we thought hii vita ya kupigania hii kiti ya number 2 ilikuwa imedhibitiwa. We thought it had been brought under control. Right. And that the ODM brigade had gone back to the individual campaigns huko Mashinani. Because we had stopped seeing a lot of them all over saying how they wanalinga kiti ya deputy. We saw them go back to seeking the individual political seats. But interestingly, after the recently released TIFA polls, which stated that ODM is still a popular party, I'm thinking they must have gathered some strength, and now come forth to demand what they believe is rightfully theirs. They are saying it is no discussion, 50-50, and we are beginning with this number 2. And they introduced their deputy president. So it was although I'm not so sure the confidence they get, where they're getting their confidence, because the same poll says of the ODM support, 74% is gone with Sifuna, and they are left with what your power are left with the 20 or so thereabout. Hata hii deputy wanataka, I'm thinking they will be asked, okay, do you have the numbers in that ODM that
to actually deliver?
We begin from there.
President William Ruto is at a very hard place. It's not about even Kindiki. It's about William Ruto trying to make political mathematics to align for the 2027 political race. Right. Because I think the Sifuna effect has caught up with the political space in the country. Because now you have to balance. Do you take, because if you don't take a deputy from Western region, you could lose the whole of the Western vote. And we have said here before that the 2027 political race is going to be won by whoever wins the Western Kenya political the votes from Western Kenya. Because we already know where Fanyamamba and his kin are going to vote. We already know where Nyanza region is going to vote. We already know where Kalenjins are going to vote. So the only even some, you can even say some Nicks we are going to vote, but majority of them are going, we know where they are going to vote. But in Western Kenya, I think Ruto has been banking on it that he's going to take a block from Western Kenya. But now with the Sifuna effect, we saw what happened over the weekend. I think now ODM have got a voice and they are saying, sasa tupatie a deputy, and they are hoping that Oparanya is going to get that position of deputy so that he tries to neutralize the effects that Sifuna is trying to make. But I don't know. Fanyamambo says Kindiki is not a bad person, but badness or goodness of person is very subjective. But Ruto and Kindiki are personal buddies. But again, in politics, akunanga mambo ya urafiki ni interest. Yes, so kama interests zangu are not aligning with you, I will just leave you. But it's going to be a very hard decision. But I don't know where ODM are coming from. Unajua ni kama mimi nimekatia Cynthia, tunaishi pamoja, then tukishakaa hapo pamoja for 1 year, alafu Cynthia anaanza kuniambia mimi dawari yangu lazima uniletee ng'ombe 14 na huko kwa nyumba tayari. So ODM are demanding a DP's position when they are already in that marriage. They're already in the marriage. So it's going to be a very difficult position for President William Ruto to make, to decide either I'm going for Joho, either I'm going for Oparanya, either I'm going for Gladys Wanga, or I stick to Kindiki.
Oparanya's suggestion is intentional. One is because he's the only loyal leader in ODM, which is perceived to be the biggest party, the popular party right now in the country, followed by UDA, I think. Popular.
Maintain.
We are going by the scientific research released
there's
recently.
Popular and then there's
By
famous.
Yes. Yes, by T.
T what?
Yes.
T what?
Tifa.
You see, popular, when they release this result, they are so particular. They say popular does not mean what people love, but mentioned. Sometimes it is when they ask, which party do you know? Before they mention DCP or UDA, they have mentioned ODM. Some of this popularity are derived from questions like that, not necessarily the darling of the People Party. So,
There's still room for DCP.
Calm down.
I was wondering who they were asking.
DCP is still popular.
So the Oparanya, when I heard the introduction, what came to my mind was trying to test waters for President William Ruto.
Right.
With the wave of Edwin Sifuna and the Linda Mwananchi, people seem to have shifted attention to Mulembe Nation. If we mention someone from Mulembe Nation, we know they are done and dusted with Wetangula. We know they are done and dusted with Madividi. But we have not had them going after Oparanya Sana. You remember, just recently, Oparanya was heard castigating them, the broad-based and the ODM fraternity, of making it difficult for them to campaign for President William Ruto because of ihulka ya kutoa watu kwa chama. He was referring to Sifuna. Right. So people tend to imagine or to think Oparanya is a bit friendly to Sifuna, having served closely with Baba, having known how Baba related with Sifuna. Right. They think Oparanya has some softness towards Sifuna. So could we try and suggest this and see if the ground will start debating between Sifuna and Oparanya? That is what is happening. Right. So it is not the ODM wanting the number 2 position. It is the big man on the hill, in the house of the hill, telling them, let us see if this works. But I want to go back to I don't know if it is Fanyamambo who observed here that he's safer with Kindiki right now, because if he tries Oparanya, Joho will make noise at the coast. All right. If he tries Joho, Wanga will make noise from this other side. If he tries whatever, so where will he find peace in this matrix here, deputy president? He's safer with Kindiki, but with Kindiki, who unfortunately has nothing to bring on the table. Yes.
We are in 2026 and we are going into 2027. You cannot use old wine skins and try to put new wine in it. It's not going to work. wale watu wa kitambo mambo yao imeisha. You know, the Oparanyas of this world were ministers during Kibaki. Sifuna is here and he's here with Linda Mwananchi. And he's sweeping Western. And I have seen very prominent leaders
sweeping
in
the
Western.
country, please.
Yeah, in Western. No, let's
Sweeping
the
the
pole
country.
pole.
He's sweeping the
By
country.
Pole.
Let me tell
Please
you.
retract that
Yeah, yeah,
statement
yeah,
and
thank you.
say it appropriately
That is the truth.
as suggested by Murutu.
Yeah.
Murutu, don't limit him to Western. He's sweeping the country.
Let me tell you something,
Yes.
and it's for the
Redeem
avoidance of
yourself,
doubt. To
please.
start with, I am a founding member of Linda Mwananchi. In fact, even their first rally in Busia,
Yes.
I was there. And I have always told Kenyans, and I'm responding to many of them who tell me, Fanya mambo, join Linda Mwananchi. I tell them, you don't join something that you already started and have been part of and have
Okay.
been with. The only thing they don't see, Kenyans have failed to see, Sifuna is in Linda Mwananchi, but he remains a member of ODM. He has not resigned from ODM. Babu Owino is in Linda Mwananchi and is a member of ODM. People like my good friend Angel Mbuthia from Kiambu here is in Linda Mwananchi, but she sticks with Jubilee. I have friends of mine like Senator Dan Maanzo, who is a staunch member of the Wiper Democratic Party, but is a member of Linda Mwananchi.
Mwashako.
So there are so many people. Even Kawera Mwangaza comes with her party, but she's a member of Linda Mwananchi. Fanyamambo Kinuthia is staunchly a member of DCP, but comes to Linda Mwananchi. So you cannot expect that some of those leaders will come to Linda Mwananchi and they are not leaving their parent parties, but they are hoping that some of us will leave our parent parties and come and join Linda Mwananchi. It is not wise. You have to be a member of a party. If tomorrow a by-election was called in your constituency where you are, utendo useme mimi nasimama na Linda Mwananchi, it's not a registered political party. So you must belong to a political party. But what I was coming to is Sifuna has done well. He's done well for himself. He's done well. And I like the leaders, when I was talking about Western, who are older than him, who have actually decided to support him. You see Boni Halwale, you see, apart from this guy from Kotu who wears purple shirts, all the other leaders in Western,
The guy with the password.
yeah, who are worth their salt, have actually endorsed him. And they've come and said, look here, you are our son and you have our blessings. So Sifuna is going far. People are asking at whether now you have Oparanya, because they know that for sure the United Alternative Government will probably have Sifuna as the running mate. And then they'll choose a presidential candidate. And so they are trying to bring Oparanya to counter Sifuna. But they are forgetting one thing. The principal at the top is William Ruto. William Ruto, we are telling you, watch our Oparanya. Even if you bring Jesus Christ as your deputy for the running mate position, Kenyans will still remember that you are the principal, you are the president, and you are the person they don't want. If William Ruto is going to understand that, he will stop trying all these things. Hata ukijaribu kuleta nani, hata ukifufua Moses ama Abraham, ukuje useme Abraham is my running mate, or the Pope of the Vatican, or the Archbishop of Canterbury, as long as you are William Ruto and you are the presidential candidate, Kenyans will tell you no. So Kenyans are not looking at your deputy. Stop wasting time choosing a deputy. Even if you choose 7 deputies, all of them and they are equal, with equal powers, Kenyans are telling you, when we close our eyes tunaona William Ruto, na tukiona William Ruto tunaenda mbio in the opposite direction. So that's what's going to happen.
Thank you very
so
much.
Choose whoever you want. Once you are done, even Abraham Lincoln, mfufue, once you are done, even if Obama was to accept to be your deputy, we will still tell you the principal is William Ruto, and that's the guy we don't want.
Okay.
In the Western region, have we seen such excitement with the leader? Even with Kijana Amalu, I could have been very young, but I never saw such excitement.
And unity as well.
And unity
I
of
have
purpose.
never seen Western
and those
talk in
people,
one voice.
And those people just came out from, they were not mobilized. By 4 a.m., people were at poster grounds. And some of these leaders from Western and even from the country, I think, by trying to fight Sifuna, I think they are making him even more. By saying that you do not have billions, he is making akina Murutu kuchanga pesa, 50 bob, 100 shillings, and you saw ndoi kija, unaona bagi meja, and that is what the effect that Sifuna is having on the Western Kenya region. And it's not, I don't want to reduce Sifuna to Western region only, because he is accepted almost across. You will see, he will go to Homa Bay and you will find lots of people coming out to receive him. I think he's acceptable all over, but as a politician, you need to have a base. And I think his base is Western Kenya. And he's going to caused a lot of political hiccups in that region, because for the longest time we've just known that it's Wetangula, it is Mudavadi, and to a large extent Oparanya. But now I think this is a new voice that has come up. Natembea was coming up, but he has now said, no, my brother is accepted, so I'm stepping back. Wacha mean Linde Western, weenda utafute kura kwingine. And also I want to challenge Fanyamambo that it's not just that Sifuna is destined to be a deputy. He can even force the opposition to say, okay, I think Sifuna is the much acceptable person to be our captain. It could happen, and people are talking about the Obama moment, because Obama, remember Obama was only a senator for 2 years, and he became the president for 8 years, and so people are calling this moment an Obama moment. It will depend on how much and how then Sifuna utilizes this chance, because this is an opportunity that has come. You will find people who, even that are troll you are saying, he might say, no, I think
these
are our son.
He's known to switching
he
sides.
can switch sides anytime and say, no, I think Sifuna has been accepted all over the country, and it's duty bound to support him, because right now ukienda Western unaweza chapa Rigathi Gachagua, unaweza chapa Kalonzo, unaweza chapa in your speeches, but the moment you touch on Sifuna, watu wanasema hapana.
That is where you draw the line.
Honorable Means tried talking, and watu walikuwa naenda wakarudishwa rudi, and most of those rallies za ODM na UDA, they are empowerment rallies. Resources are given out, pesa ina exchange hands, but unaona kama vitu za Sifuna, they just come out naturally. Unajua wanasema ukubwa wa mapua sio wingi wa makamasi.
So you saying ya wapi? Abu Halalire. Atakuwa mapua sio wingi wa makamasi.
So Sifuna has that effect on Western Kenya. How he's going to utilize it, and because as of now I think Trans Nzoia and Bungoma is locked,
and Kakamega as well, because of Boni Khalwale.
And in Kakamega, for example, almost all the MCAs were in that Bungoma rally. There are some few MPs who are still afraid, waende huku, wakienda huku watatolewa kwa committee, wakifanya hivi president atafanya namna hii, but when time comes, I know a lot of people are going to change.
Who has told them that Sifuna will be running mate and not number one? Who has told them? So that they start lining up equivalents from their side in Western Kenya to counter Sifuna. Like Obiya said, I think we are almost at a point where the united opposition is convinced Sifuna is a force to reckon with. Kama hawajafikia hapo, we still have a few months. If he demonstrates that consistently in the manner he has done in the previous 19 or so counties, then the conversation won't be so much about how to counter a deputy or running mate that is Sifuna. That aside, the fact that we saw representation from across, and that is why I was but at least he rectified, or he clarified that it is not that we have confined Sifuna in Western. It is true, Sifuna is not a Western force, because in that very, very homecoming, in a homecoming, you would invite a few friends from other regions. Some will come, some will send apologies. But in this one, some of them were not even invited.
Yes.
They invited themselves because they identify with the change that comes with Sifuna and the Linda Mwananchi. And you could count from at least every county was represented in that homecoming, be it in Trans Nzoia when they were there on Saturday, or Bungoma when they were there on Sunday. The fact that people have decided to own the idea of Sisindio Sifuna tells you that the desperation levels heightening at State House, and I think it is deliberate by them trying to get a deputy, a running mate, or suggest a running mate from Western Kenya. They're trying to force it is a narrative to force the united opposition to have Sifuna as a running mate and not as the flag bearer. They are trying to see to give an impression that the country is ready for Sifuna as a running mate and not as a number one. And that is why also they are giving impressions that they could pick a running mate from Western Kenya or something. You have heard who has been given the responsibilities that have been stripped off Madividi. Or stripped over Kindiki. It is Madividi.
Yeah.
Again, that is a Western figure. All efforts to try and demonstrate to the Mulembe nation that when he was supposed to be in the mountain, the president, over the weekend, where did he go instead? Busia. So everything points to the scramble for the Western and trying to make sure that Sifuna is not touted as the flag bearer but number two, because they know things will fall apart if he's given that opportunity as number one.
Every young person associates with his fight. Every young, Sifuna brings another constituency that was not part of what we had. We used to have Western, Nyanza, Eastern, what. But there's a constituency called the young people who don't care whether they are Kikuyus or Maragolis or whatever. And those people are found in the urban areas, and especially in Nairobi. They call themselves Gen Zs. I don't know, tribalists. I don't know what.
Leaderless.
And the bulk of them are also associating with the Sifuna, and it's a huge chunk of votes. So Sifuna, beyond being seen as a leader who is bringing the Western Bloc, is being seen as a leader who is bringing the young aspirations, the people who are saying we want, hatutaki wale watu wazee, hatutaki hiyo vitu yote imekuwa hapo. But also there's something they did, and I remember Babu Owino mentioning it severally. He mentioned Wamonyoro, because I know this week they'll be going there. And the whole idea is the united alternative opposition has to work together. I mean, the Sifuna Linda Mwananchi team has got to work with this other team of Akina Rigathi Gachagua, Akina Matiang'i and Kalonzo and every other person. And the reason is this. William Ruto would be happy if there was a divided opposition. And we don't want to give him the pleasure of him seeing a divided opposition. Would we vote for Sifuna as president? Definitely. I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, we've had terrible leaders in this country and they've been presidents. Sifuna is much, much better compared to so many of some of those terrible ones I don't want to mention here. So Sifuna is qualified to be president. If Kenyans decide to give him the opportunity to be president, who are we? We can't fight him. We will support him. We actually do want change in this country. And we cannot want change by trying to retain the old things that have always been there. So yes, we wish him well and we wish that outfit well, but most importantly, we wish the united opposition a good opportunity at coming together, all of them, without prejudice, without saying I don't see who you akae, who you hanakura, who you are. Everybody is important. Let's sit, but let's pick the best and the correct presidential candidate. Kithure Kindiki, come back home. Si lazima ukue huko. Wewe bado ni mtoto wetu, bado tunakupenda. Kuna mahali inafikanga tunasema sasa watu wote wa nyumbani tuwarudishe pamoja. We bring them home and we try to build this nation together with all those leaders to come to one space. Allow me to say this. Kalonzo is presidential. We have a problem
according
in this country.
to who?
To whom?
No.
Whom?
Me.
Whom?
Let me say
As
what I need to
who?
say. Okay. What we have done as a country, we've been used to people who have been yelling on rooftops of cars and sunroofs, and we've thought that that's the right thing to do. That a president is the person who shouts the loudest. Kibaki did the best and spoke the least. His demeanor was presidential. So it doesn't mean that if Kalonzo Musyoka is quiet and reserved, he's not presidential. It just means, no, it just means, by the Kalonzo is not uncharismatic. He's very charismatic if you listen to him. The problem we have is
which TV were you
we
watching
are used
on?
to people.
No, if you struggle hard, you can see it.
We are used to people. We are used to people who shout. But we forgot to mention just one last thing, that the president was in Busia and he addressed a lot of school buses. There were so many, the yellow ones. And he tells you that he was dealing with a mobilized crowd. But there are wale watu wanachomeanga president. Wanaleta watu na mabasi za shule alafu wanazipaka hapo. Kwani watu wa Sifuna walikuja na nini? Because sioni basi, sioni pikipiki, sioni nini. And then they are playing insecurity the whole day. Our president hata hawana furaha. They are just waiting to be asked kama wao ni tutam, wazeme tutam. Because that's what they were paid to do. but wale wasifuna walipiga there's a way mtu anaweza piga isiku tuone hata ukilipa mtu aweze kupiga.
And you know it is from Kamkuyo to Bungoma. You know what distance that is, and people are following that in parallel. Mtu anashtuka amefika Bungoma ametoka Kimilili.
I think Fanyamabu is running away from the question you asked.
Yes.
He's running away from the fact that Kalonzo is working from home. He's running away from the
It's true.
He's running away from the fact that Matiang'i is also working from home. Maraga is working from home. And that's a fact. And just the way it's going to be very difficult for President William Ruto to get a deputy, to choose a deputy and say this is the right deputy to have. It's going to be very difficult for the United Opposition to choose a presidential candidate and a deputy and say this is the right formation that we can go with in the 2027 election, because despite the fact that some of those leaders are working from home, they have that entitlement that because we have been here for this while, they are working virtually, but because they have been here for 30-40 years, they have that entitlement that it is me who is supposed to be the flag bearer. But now we see here a young man in Sifuna who is now going through all these counties and not just waving at cars and a few imaginary trees and imaginary population. He's going and getting massive receptions from those people. And so even if I was Rigiji and I'm the kingmaker, for example, and I don't want to vie, I just want to make sure that Ruto is home.
Person is there for
will you choose that person who is working from home, or will you choose this person who you think has been accepted by the whole country? Because like you have said, Sifuna is not just a Western Kenya aspirant or leader. He is representing a huge constituency, which are the youths. And if they were to register and vote, then it's going to obviously tilt whatever that happens in 2027. So will you choose this person who is working from home, or are you going to choose this leader?
Of all these leaders, tell me any other leader that has been walking around with elected members of parliament that are drawn from across the country, other than Sifuna and Rigathi Gachagua. If you go to Kalonzo, most of the elected leaders that have been walking around or going around with him are those that are allied to Wiper. Truth be told, from Kamba region. If you go to, in fact, Eugene Wamalwa has to be in the camp of either Kalonzo and either in the camp of Kalonzo or Rigiji to be seen to have some MPs around him. Otherwise, his own MPs, Kina Ombokas of this world, Kina Salasias, even Salasia, I've not seen him around the rallies where...
He waves at some imaginary things.
You see, those are two. We have dealt with the Kalonzo, we have dealt with the Eugene, we are dealing with the Matiang'i, we have dealt with the Matiang'i. And those are the big figures on this table that we expect the opposition to set and arrive at who will be flag bearer, will be the running mate. So, looking at that matrix, given Rigiji and Sifuna, there are regions Rigiji has some reservation in visiting. True or false? True. For example, he can't courageously say he's visiting Luo Nyanza.
Right.
But Sifuna will do that comfortably. Right? When you come to that, who is more acceptable? And these people are going to sit on the same table and look at, if they are going to look at these factors the way I imagine they will be, the likelihood of Sifuna standing out than the likes of Kalonzo, because most people are imagining a ticket of Kalonzo as presidential, as a flag bearer, and Sifuna as the running mate.
We are very sharply focused on taking William Ruto home. And the only other card he had, na nilikuwa nimetoka tu hapa MP, the other day nikakutana na MPs wa UDA. Nikakaniambia sinyi tutawashinda next election. So I asked them how. One of them, a lady, told me, this will be a repeat of 2007. So I asked them, you guys mean violence? Wakasema no. It is going to be Mount Kenya versus the Republic. You know, Mount Kenya versus the rest of Kenya. And that is why we want to deny them that opportunity. If there is one thing we have been sitting and discussing, is saying, wamekuwa kisema Kikuyus are entitled to the presidency. First and foremost, we want to shock you. We want to tell them, sio lazima the next president akuwe Mkikuyu. In fact, sio lazima hata the next deputy president akuwe Mkikuyu. All we are trying to tell Kenyans is this, that if the only card they wanted was to wait for us to bring a presidential candidate who is a Kikuyu, or a DP who is a Kikuyu, so that they can fight them, we as the Murima community are actually willing to have a conversation around not offering a Kikuyu for any of the two top seats. And then let us see now, hiyo strategy ya kina William Ruto wamekuwa kiuza huku. That's why unasikia tunaitwa fisi huku. We are being called hyenas because the whole idea is to demonize us, give us a bad name and then crucify us. And then now what we have done is tumekubali. Kaa sasa mimi siku hizi ni fisi, fanya mambo Kinuthia. It's fine. We are hyenas, tumekubali. But we will tell you that hyenas attack in packs, they move together and they never leave one another. Yes. And we are all going to move together hata siku ya ballot tutakuja huko. And so let it be known to all of them that hiyo narrative mulikuwa mnajaribu kuleta ati Kikuyus versus the whole of the republic. Kikuyus have said no. We said in fact hata hatujaiona Mluya president, hatujaiona Mkamba president, hatujaiona Mkisi president. We are happy to come and cast, see they are Kenyans. We are happy to come and cast our votes in support of any other in fact even another Kalenjin who is not William Ruto. So musikuja hapa kusema ati tunachukia Wakale. To the Kalenjin community tunawapenda sisi kama Wakikuyu, japokuwa mimi yangu nilipea Raila, Wakikuyu wetu walipatia William Ruto, knowing that he's not a Kikuyu. So even if there was to be another Kalenjin who is not William Ruto, hata huyo tu tuko willing kumpea kura, bora sio William Ruto. Wewe sio huyo.
Okay, what used to be education model, right?
Funding model.
Suddenly hatuko haifanyi inafanya. The last I checked, we didn't have enough money. We didn't even allocate enough money. And then somehow in between a speech tukaambiwa msijali tutalipa hiyo school, tunalipa hiyo fees na nini.
And the sentiments came after the budget had been passed.
Yeah.
And so we do not have that money in the budget.
No, we don't.
So far, because it was not allocated. And we know that the body that allocates the budget is Parliament, not even the presidency. But I think the funding model generally is just a mess. The education sector is a mess.
Kitu najaribu kuko humble bwana.
Nani humble lakini ni sawa. I blame Nick.
I take full responsibility.
I think we need just to be sober on this funding model ya education, from pre-primary actually to higher education. Right. And we have said this on this show over and over again, that the best thing would be to collapse all those bursary and funding models that we all, and just put those monies in one basket, so that we just say that from nursery, inaitwa squeezy, inaitwa nursery kweli,
PP1
is in preschool 2 years old.
Pre-primary school,
inaitwa nini?
from pre-primary school to college to university, the education is just free. Wewe unaenda tu shule, bora uko na uniform, uenda shule usome. But all these things you are trying to do, you know, and I think President William Ruto has just realized that the model that he had brought up is not working.
Of course.
It's not working, and because he wants to change that model, now he is trying to come up with you know, very politically and nutritious words to, you know, to just say ile funding model haijafanya, we are trying another one. I think that's all that is there. But Fajamambo has been on this before. We have been on this before, that the best thing to do, hiyo CDF yenye napeana basari ya toa hiyo pesa. Ile pesa inatolewa na president at bursary education, toa hiyo pesa. Ile inapeana na women rep, toa hiyo pesa. Ile inatoana na MCA, toa hiyo pesa. Ile inapeana na governor, toa hiyo pesa. Weka hiyo pesa yote pamoja. Then just fund education, just make education to be free. Just make education to be free.
I think this thing has been said. There's a guy called Junet Mohammed, who is sitting on a committee that was formed in August of 2024 by the speaker to just discuss how we shall amalgamate, because it's 104 billion that is wasted in various funds that's supposed to go to education.
Yes.
Just put it together, make education free. Simple. But Si Januari tulikuwa tumepewa pesa, mnakumbuka? The other time tulikuwa tumepewa some 30 billion za kupeleka watoto wetu waingie grade 10 transition. Na iligulwa. In fact, we were never told anything about it. Now, I remember the president speaking in Meru and saying watoto wote wapelekwe shule, serikali itawalipia. Imelipa. Kama hawa primary waliingia na ni president alisema akiwa Meru akashout akasema pelekeni watoto shule, then he didn't pay. What makes you think he'll pay university? We're just looking at what he said in January of this year. Go look for the clip. He was in Meru. Akashout watoto wapelekwe shule. Shule atizitalipwa. Haikulipwa. Parents are suffering. Ask anybody who has a child in school. Now sasa mmekuja mambo ya university. I mean, same script. Bora mmepiga makofi anaangalianga kuna watu wangapi hapa? Are they able to clap? Have they clapped? Bas. Sema chochote.
Let us be reminded that it is only possible if people register as voters.
True.
Because that is... I was interacting with a few young people when I was on the Kandui trip. And when you're having a conversation with them, you speak, and then after they listen to you, at the end of the conversation, then you see several of them say, now I have a reason to go get a card. Meaning, some of them are still dilly-dallying with the idea of registering as voters. Please go out and register as voters so that you do not just make noise, you be counted as a Kenyan who knows what it means to exercise their democratic right by voting.
Na hiyo siku walinde kura, waambie.
Na mlinde kura.
I think I'm just telling those people who are in government, start preparing, and you people need to read the signs. Nixon Korir is vying for MP Langata. Why? If William Ruto is going to win again. Farouk Kibet is vying for MP where he comes from. Why? If William Ruto is going to come back again. I can tell you for free without blinking that Kipchumba Murkomen will vie for governor huko kwa Elgeyo Marakwet. Why? If William Ruto is coming again. All the close people to the president will vie for elective seats. That tells you what? One term.